Hello guys, Croft is here. After watching Alien Covenant, many of us wondered if David is the actual creator of Xenomorphs and how he was able to make Xenomorph eggs. There are a few different opinions and theories on this topic, but today we'll cover one deleted scene and a passage from Alien Covenant novel that explain the origins of the eggs and the alien creature that David brought to life. The novelization gives us a really important information about the eggs. Similarly, the deleted sequence has a huge detail relating to the cup used by the engineer to seed life on Earth. The novelization is a written version of the film with way more information than the script. Everything is described in great detail. For the most part, it's exactly the same as the film, but there are a few important things that were not included in the movie. The deleted scene is also in the novel, but the visuals and the object that we see on the screen lead to a theory of how David succeeded in his experiments. Before we begin, I just wanted to thank you guys for watching my videos. I haven't been posting lately, but in the next few weeks I'll be releasing new videos on the Alien universe and the new upcoming Godzilla King of Monsters movie. Let's start with a big reveal about the Xenomorph eggs in the novel. This part is not in the deleted scenes or anywhere else. You can only get it if you read the novelization, which is kinda weird because not only it clarifies the origin of the eggs, but also because it makes a huge difference for the Alien franchise continuity. In the novel, when Orm is in David's lab, David shows him an egg laying on his table, which indicates that this egg is smaller than the other ones in his underground room. It's described that this egg was not just another specimen in his collection, but a very special and unique object that David honored. It's also described to have a facehugger-like creature inside of it, so it's pretty heavily implied that this was the original Xenomorph egg, the same one as in Alien 1979. David then explains that for his lab, he was trying to use everything he could salvage from the crashed Juggernaut and the Engineer's City, including this egg. David then explains that the egg was aggressive to the point that he decided to neutralize it so that it was no longer alive, which means that he basically killed it in some way and then preserved it in its original form like a trophy. I believe you can actually see this egg for a few seconds in the movie. David approaches it and reveals a facehugger inside. Even judging by these few shots, the egg fits the description in the novel, and as you can see, it's placed on some kind of a platform, indicating its importance. David also referred to the egg as the true survivor, so from this passage from the novelization, we learn that David found the original Xenomorph egg either in the Engineer's City or on the crashed Juggernaut, which is far more likely. As I talked in my other video, the Prometheus draft script explains that the ships on LV-223 had something called planet seeders, which I assume are Xenomorph eggs, so we'll get back to this point a bit later. David explains to Orm that he simply found this egg as an example of engineer perfection, and the egg inspired him to create something in the image of it, which are these big, almost human-sized eggs. In summary, that's a really important detail that was left out from the movie, because it means that the eggs in Alien 1979 were not created by David, suggesting that the origins of the eggs is still a mystery. It also means that the Xenomorph type that David created, Protomorphs, is a completely different branch of aliens, separate from the ones that we've seen in Alien movies, and they are not an intermediate step to the biomechanical design of the original Xenomorph. Another big reveal that I want to talk about in this video is what happens after David shows the original Xenomorph egg to Captain Orm. I may be looking too much into this, but in the deleted scene, David appears to have the Engineer Cup, which is highly likely the tool that allowed him to create a new alien life form, Protomorphs. Before we get to the details of the deleted scene, here is a little bit of context about the cup. The beginning of Prometheus shows the creation of life on Earth. The sacrifice engineer uses this mysterious cup with a strange substance in order to create first cells or organisms, which will eventually turn a dead planet into a living world. The engineer needed to drink the substance in order to achieve proper mutation. This means that the liquid inside the cup was crucial in creating a new life form. About a year ago, I found Prometheus' draft script, which gives a really detailed explanation about the cup and the goldish substance inside. According to the draft script, the substance that the engineer drinks is the blood of the first deacon, a creature that gave life to engineers. In the script, they were apparently using its blood to seed life on other planets. I go in much more details about the first deacon and its connection to engineers in my other video on the draft script, so check it out if you haven't seen it yet. To summarize, this cup in the opening sequence contains the blood of the first deacon, a substance that possesses unique ability to create new life forms. What you're about to hear next is my theory, and I may be wrong here, but in Alien Covenant deleted scene, David seems to have the same cup. If it turns out to be true, and if it is the same cup as in Prometheus, David most definitely used it in the process of creating xenomorph eggs. Not many people know that this cup appears the second time in Prometheus inside the temple with pathogen urns. These few shots are only included in the trailer. Before the movie came out in theaters, they replaced the cup with this green crystal, which is not related to anything in the story. Surprisingly, David seems to use almost the same cup in Alien Covenant, which can explain how he was able to create his own xenomorph eggs. In the deleted scene, David leads Oram to the underground room, and just before entering, David puts his fingers into this cup and makes Oram smell the substance. In the novel, he also explains that this would protect Oram's nose, since the smell in this room is extremely unpleasant. However, despite this explanation in the novel, this cup looks extremely similar to the one that the sacrifice engineer used at the beginning of Prometheus, and also to the cup that we saw in the trailer. They don't look exactly the same, but there is definitely a great similarity, which I don't think happened by chance. The theory is that just like David found the original xenomorph egg on the engineer's ship, he probably recovered this mysterious cup that was in the temple on LV-223. He then used its extraordinary properties to make his own version of eggs and facehuggers. The reason that David's protomorphs are so similar to xenomorphs is because the black goo was one of the main ingredients for his experiments, and since the black goo has the xenomorph DNA, the resulting organism is very similar to them. I'm not sure what's the actual reason why David makes Oram smell whatever's in that cup. It does not have any effect on David when he touches it since he's an android, but it might have affected Oram, and inhaling this substance could have started certain mutations inside him and facilitated growth of the embryo. So to summarize, what we know from the deleted scene and the novelization is that David did not create the eggs that we see in Alien 1979, and xenomorphs were not created by him. Instead, he created his own subspecies, protomorphs. This really fits into the Predator alien universe and preserves the mystery of the xenomorph origin. However, maybe there is a bigger reason why Ridley did not include this passage from the novel in the movie other than just to save time. Since the artificial intelligence is a major theme in his movies, Ridley Scott may actually go for the narrative that these protomorphs is the precursor to the original xenomorph. So at this point, it's still a bit ambiguous, and the next Alien movie can take either of these two choices, but I hope that the studio will listen to the fans and actually clarify that David is not the creator of Xenomorphs. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the origin of the eggs and the theory relating to the cup. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel for more content. My name is Croft and I'll see you in the next video.